This small rural schoolhouse was built in 1913, and it served Cherokee and non-Cherokee students through the 1950s. But since then, it has sat empty. Decades of neglect haven't been kind, and it's in desperate need of repairs.
And with this building, we're doing a full restoration, extensive exterior masonry work. The whole inside will be restored to its original state. New wood windows, new roof structure.
Travis Owens is the Planning and Development Manager for Cherokee Nation Cultural Tourism. He says it's important for them to maintain the historical integrity of this structure.
I think that's the key to preservation is, you know, keeping a respect for our historic resources, restoring them and bringing them back to their original state. Yes, they are, to some people, they are just old buildings, but really we believe in what they stand for and the history that's connected to the spaces. So really this building is the only building that can tell its story, and rightfully so, tell the story of the Cherokee Nation.
And a big part of that story is here on this historical site where Principal Chief John Ross is buried.
He was Principal Chief for 38 years and led us through two horrific episodes, the removal, the Trail of Tears, and the American Civil War. So the building in the background was actually a schoolhouse built in 1913 and closed down in 1950. It's been known as the Ross Schoolhouse because it's adjacent to the cemetery. So what we're going to do is renovate this building in the sort of the model of a presidential library, because John Ross to us was what he is to the President to the United States. And so his memory, his lessons, lessons of history during his tenure should be taught. You know, there's great stories, phenomenal stories, humanistic stories, common stories, universal stories. And so this will be a museum interpreting the life and history of John Ross.
Molly Jarvis works to promote cultural tourism within the Cherokee Nation. She says this is the latest project of several that are in the works to preserve Cherokee history and their roots as a people.
This is one of our 4 key elements that's very important to the program. So we've started out with 4 historical preservations and restorations, and this is just one of those. They include the Cherokee National Prison in downtown Tahlequah, the Cherokee National Supreme Court, which was opened in March 2010, and the Cherokee National Capitol building. All of those are located in downtown Tahlequah. And then, of course, this building, the Ross Schoolhouse, which will become a museum to Chief John Ross.
In the past decade, the Cherokee Nation has influenced federal historical preservation policy and has had the capital and the people needed to go back and rebuild these historic properties. But for many years, Cherokee history, such as the significance of John Ross, was not talked about.
Well, that's one of the sad things, is didn't know much about John Ross. And 5 years ago, as Principal Chief, somebody gave me 2 volumes of his papers. And I read those 2 books, and it was amazing how history repeats itself. The challenges that we see the Cherokee Nation in today were challenges that he faced. And so it gives us great intelligence and guidance to see how he dealt with them, so we can have guidance on how to deal with the challenges today.
The formerly Rural School 51 will become the John Ross Museum. Visitors will not only learn history within the building, but will have the opportunity to walk the grounds that tell the story of trials and tribulations Cherokee Nation endured, how they worked through it, and went on to prosper.
If Oklahomans could learn the lesson here at the John Ross School and of John Ross, I think they'd walk away thinking, you know, there was a great Cherokee Nation as a republic that pre-existed the state of Oklahoma. In fact, there were 5 great republics with the 5 civilized tribes. And there was 31 other tribes that were imported as a land of exile into what now is Oklahoma. And based upon that phenomenal history, great intelligence, great cultural diversity, you know, perhaps Oklahoma would have greater tolerance, greater understanding today. I'm afraid that that lesson needs to be preached pretty strongly, because now we have English only. We have lack of tolerance for other cultures. So it's desperately needed to teach these historic stories.